Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. And today is another episode, another topic. And today I'm going to be talking about a topic which is very close to my heart and I've loved since I was a kid. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself to those new watchers and new listeners. My name is Utkarsh Shekhar. I'm a 13-year-old Star Scout. If you watched any of my previous videos, you would know I'm also a ham radio enthusiast. Today, I'm going to be talking about my experience so far with aviation and what's so special about it. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved aviation and seeing those big planes fly in the sky, those big machines operate, always made me feel amazed, and it will always make me feel, always made me wonder, how would you do that, and how can I become a pilot? Of course, I didn't really think deep into that until I was older, and it wasn't really a thought that came up to me until recently when I took my first Young Eagles flight. Before I dive into that, I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever felt the same way? If so, here's my complete path on how you can pursue this aviation journey, whether you just want to fly a plane for fun, get your private pilot license, just learn and teach others, become an instructor, or become a commercial airline pilot someday, like how I want to be with minimal resources and at the lowest cost possible while not sacrificing on the things you learn along the way. First, I wanted to say that if you're interested in aviation, you should dive a little bit deeper before showing more steps. It requires a lot of training and a lot of time and dedication. I'm not saying you should spend hours every day, but it's important that you don't forget things that you learn. Like when you learn something about a plane, you should remember it and keep revising it again and again. So you don't just memorize it for the training. A plane is an instrument that needs to be treated properly and with proper care. And if you don't know how to do that, it can not only put yourself in danger, but your passengers and others in danger. So now I would like to start my step by step journey on how you can achieve this. The first step is go to your local chapter, see a plane, know how it works, and even better, how I started my journey is I'm a part of the Young Eagles program. I took my first Young Eagles flight a few weeks ago, and it was really inspiring. I sat in the back seat. I watched how the plane worked. It went into the air. Of course, I've been on an airplane before, but it was a different experience. I saw the pilot flying it throughout the flight, and it was amazing to see the instruments moving and changing constantly. That is a kickstart for many children. They see how it works and then they want to learn how to make it work. Then I got to use the free Sporties online course to start learning, and it's an amazing course. It covers everything you need to know from your first solo to flight instruments to how to taxi, everything, even weather and how to talk to ground control. It's amazing. That course teaches you from everything, ground to sky. You'll know everything on how to fly the plane. But that's not enough. After that, once you complete the course and pass the online test, which you have to score 80% or higher, Sporties automatically gives you a free voucher to take your first lesson. Now, this is amazing because not only do you get to know all the basics about the airplane, but you get to have some in real life experience. You get to know what it feels like to be in a plane, experience it real time, and apply what you've learned. But that's not enough. You also need to have proper training. You have to take more lessons. You have to learn more. You have to get more flight training. So for that, I would recommend visiting your local chapters. The people there are very welcoming and they'll be happy to show you how the plane works. Maybe it's breakfast where you help flip some pancakes or cook some food, or maybe even washing their planes or learning how to take care of them while you help them out. They might even give you some free rides, you never know. And through that, they might get to know you more. And that brings me to my next point: scholarships. If you wanna get this at minimal cost, you should optimize scholarships and places where you can get it for the lowest cost possible. So for this, you would have to make a good reputation. Of course, it's not about the application, but it's about how dedicated you are. If you're very enthusiastic and you love aviation, the people who you show it will automatically know. It's not about if you want it just for the job or something like that. It's about your proper passion, and when they see that in you, they'll of course recommend you. It might be your local chapter, it might be your school, you never know. You might get the scholarship. And that scholarship can cover your entire training costs, and that way you'll get your PPL or private pilot license. Now, that's not enough. Of course, you need more training, but before that, I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. If, let's say, you don't want to get the scholarship or you don't have the time to do all that, you can join CAP or the Civil Air Patrol. It's very similar to Scouts, which I'm a part of, and through that, you get five free glider lessons and five free powered aircraft lessons, through which you get 10 training experiences. But I'm not saying it's something where you get them for free. You have to earn them through the ranks and all that. So if you're ready for that challenge, you should pick it up and you should pursue it. CAP isn't something you should take lightly. It's just like Scouts. You can't rush it. You have to plan it out. So if you're already doing Scouts, it might be a little bit difficult to do CAP, but not saying it's impossible. Everything's possible. Another thing I want to talk about is that if you don't want to become a commercial pilot or private pilot instructor, or you want to make it your job, you can also join the Air Force. It's a great career option, and that's why I would recommend CAP. If you want to join the Air Force, you can join CAP, which gives you an advantage, and then you can earn a few hours on your flight plan, and through that you can get your PPL or whatever license you need, and then you can go to an academy and learn the basics of the military and what it means to serve. But if you're someone like me and you're just interested in flying commercial planes for fun, then you should pursue mine. Another thing I wanted to say is not only does Young Eagles provide a scholarship, CAP also does. They have a program called Cadet Wings, which which covers all of your flight training, 100% everything. Also, you should have your own personal dedication and plan to this. I'm not saying that you should apply for a scholarship or join CAP. You should optimize your experience. If you have the right money or funding, you can pay for your own lessons, then join CAP for fun. Or if you're just interested in the military, you should also take advantage of all those free resources. Whenever you get the chance, ask, try, and explore. There's nothing to be afraid of. Also, another thing I want to talk about was when you go on your flights and when you do all this, you should always log it down. It's important to keep track of your hours, because if you want to get a license or a commercial pilot, hours matter in your plane. So you should always have a professional logbook, or if not, a cheap one. Not a cheap one that you get from Young Eagles or something else might also work. But always remember to log down the plane. Never skip out. Always put 100% effort and everything you can into your hours. So that's all for this podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and drop a comment below, and if you have any suggestions or how your aviation journey turns out. Bye.